All right, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I decided to take on a challenge to build the best possible 1440p price to performance build that I can build. Now, this was a challenge that was suggested from another content creator. Now he didn't directly challenge me, and it was kind of a little weird because he just challenged to see if he could make a build, and his build featured a RTX 3080 build, and it was under $600. So yeah, I just took it as a challenge, and right after watching that video I went right to work to see what was the best performing 1440p PC that I could build, and this is what I came up with. Now I would say I think I did a good job, but on the other hand, I think I failed. And for one reason is because I really couldn't get this price close to his price to under $600. Now, technically, I could have got it close to $600, but at one point I figured it was not going to be under $600. So I just decided to do some upgrades to some of the parts I was thinking of purchasing just so it will look nicer. Now, the PC he built was fully RGB, and it was all white. He even spray painted his graphics card white. So I decided to do an all black PC with no RGB. And yeah, I was looking for all the parts and it was just all black. Now the only difference is my cable extensions that has a little blue in it, but those were the only black cable extensions I had on hand, and they cost me about like $14.09. But yeah, with that all being said, I am going to go over all the parts that make up this PC. Let's go over the parts to the PC. And I want to start off with the motherboard, CPU, and the RAM. I got it for a combo deal off of a random guy at Best Buy that I talked to. He comes into Best Buy, one of the jobs that I work at, and he just upgraded to the AM5 platform, and he had this old setup, and he was the one that offered it for the price of $150. He also threw in a monitor for $50 extra. But this just shows you that if you just talk to the right people, especially PC builders, because we're your family, a lot of PC builders have old parts that they're willing to deal with. So I even heard about people getting parts for free, even whole PC for free. It is a family, like I said. Now, I did get it for $150, and it is the Mag Tomahawk from MSI. It does have Wi-Fi. The CPU is the 5600X, and the RAM is the Corsair Vengeance, 32 gigabyte of RAM, and it's clocked at 3200 megahertz. Now, for a 1440p PC, you want like a 3600 megahertz kit, but 32 megahertz will do just fine. And it's funny because that other creator also had the same type of megahertz. Next is the CPU cooler. I got for $17.03 off of eBay. It is the AG602 from Deepcool. It's a twin towers with black fans on them, and it's going to keep the CPU cool. Like, this does better than some of the AIO coolers that I have tested in the past. The power supply is the Sama XF series. It's an all white power supply, and that's probably like the only problem with this PC, because I went with an all black case, but the power supply is all white. Now I went with it because it was 750 watts, and the graphics card I got recommends around 700 watts. Now I know that's just a recommendation. You can go lower than that, but since I had this one on hand, and I had another one that was 650 watts that was cheaper, but this one was fully modular, I just decided to go with this one. Even if it was all white, I had some black cable extensions that I can add to it. Next is the NVMe card that I got from Orico off of Newegg. It was $41.09. It was a holiday deal, and I snagged a few of them. And it is a Gen 3 card, but the speeds is over 3000. So I'm not worried about the speeds on that. And I have tested this one. It does come with like a heat sink and it has been working in my other builds. So that's that. And one of the last parts is the case that I'm going to go over. This is the Air Montec 903. It's the base model. It comes with 3 fans installed, 2 for intake, 1 for exhaust. The fans are pretty strong and pretty loud in there. But this is a premium case for an affordable price. It only cost me $69.95. I was gonna go for a cheaper case, but I decided that I wanted to up the game. Like I said, once I found out I was gonna be under $600, I just wanted to make it look as nice as possible. And this does have some premium features on it. One of the parts I like is the front panel. This part comes off. The front panel also comes off, but just this part comes off and you can access the fan. So when it comes time to cleaning your PC out, it just makes it a lot more easy. Also, the case comes with 2 3.0 USBs, 1 Type-C USB, comes with a reset button. And if you want to add LEDs, it does come with an LED button on there. Cable management's excellent in the back. Plenty of room. The only problem is it really wants you to slide it in one spot, but like I said, plenty of room. All right, so I know the last part that we've been waiting for is the graphics card. What graphics card I decided to go with? I went with the AMD XFX 7700 XT graphic card. Everything going on with NVIDIA, I think this was perfect timing for me to go with this graphics card. And yeah, this is a 1440p graphics card. It does have 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It can play any game at 1440p, as you're going to see in testing, especially games like Call of Duty and Fortnite. Now, this is about to be a generation old, and the RTX 3080 is already 2 generations old. So this does have some newer features that help it keep up with the 3080, except for ray tracing, as you're going to see in the testing. But yeah, this GPU is fully capable of handling anything, and with it being a newer generation, I think that just works out in its benefit. And plus, I like the all black aesthetic that came with this entire PC. So yeah, let's just get into the testing and let's just see how everything went down. All right, so as you can see during testings, I try to keep the settings as close as possible to the ones that he used. I couldn't see all the settings in some scenarios, but the first one he did was more competitive settings with high detail, high texture, and everything else on low. And this makes the game look good at 1440p. As you can see, the frame rate average was over 130. And we all know that AMD graphics cards does a little bit better than RTX graphics cards or NVIDIA graphics cards do on Call of Duty, just because Call of Duty favors AMD just a little bit better. See, I'm just eating these boys up. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and it did maintain over that 138 average. We see spikes in the 170s, 160s, and this, like I said, looks good. It feels great to play on, very responsive. So you're not gonna have any problems with the RX 7700 XT. And next, he switched everything to high settings. And so that's just exactly what I did, just to see how the RX 7700 XT performs at native 1440p high settings. And it did quite well. It maintained over 109. I've seen it jump into 125s and high. I think it competed quite well against the 3080. Like I said, AMD graphics cards does perform better when it comes to Call of Duty. They just prefer them. And I don't know if anyone else can feel the difference. Like when you're playing at one frame level and then you switch to a different frame level, like I can feel like there's a slight lag. It takes me a second just to get used to, but as you can see, I'm still shitting on his voice. So next he switched to DLSS. Now that's NVIDIA's frame upscaling, and I went with AMD's frame FSR1 just to see the uplift it gave, and it did give some boost to the FPS on high settings. To be fair, over 20 frames you can gain from that, and it did feel smooth and nice, and I got quite some kills, got me to a kill streak, all that good stuff. And yeah, it performed, I think, just a little bit better than the RTX 3080. And I'm gonna say it again, that's just because, yeah, Call of Duty just prefers that graphics card over. And then when we jump to some of the other games, you're gonna see the struggles that the RX has, but it still is a great card. And like I said, it can handle every game at 1440p. So, and lastly, he kept DLSS on, but lowered everything else, just to give you a more competitive edge. This is what your average gamer is going to do, just to maximize their FPS, especially with a 1440p card. And I am glad to say that the RX 7700 XT performs quite well with these settings. I mean, it averaged over 190 frames per second, and it was jumping in the 200s. And with the upscaling, it makes the game look that much better. And yeah, if you're going to really be playing against a lot of sweat, these would be the settings that I will use personally. And I got quite a few kills, still made it up to my kill streaks. And yep, on to the next game. And yeah, the next game gonna try out is Fortnite, and the settings he used, he went balls to the wall, everything on high. He also added ray tracing on, and yeah, the game still can handle this at 1440p, and everything looks nice. I can confirm everything looks nice. You can see your reflections in the water, just the way you move, you can see every grain of grass. Ray tracing really is something to all at, but it's not really competitively viable, just because you do have some latencies. And when you are playing sweat, you pretty much want to use lower settings just to maximize your frames. As you can see, a couple noobs playing, and I'm one of these noobs, man. I get my car stuck right here. Look at this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I parallel park, I guess. And next, yeah, he kept everything on high, but he went to TSR high and still had some ray tracing just to show you the uplift. And everything still looks nice. It does give you more frames. It maintained over 95 for me. And look at me, I am fighting Godzilla. I don't even know what that jumps in there. And I'm missing shots. I don't know how I'm missing shots. The guy is literally 2 towers high. All right, lastly, he does some DLSS upscaling stuff. Yeah, Fortnite doesn't support FSR, so I just put TSR on low just to show you that you can get some extra frames with using that setting. This time I decided to take a Cybertruck and face Godzilla up close. I tried to get up close and cut off a toe, but yeah, I couldn't get close. I guess his aura was too strong or something, and it wouldn't let me touch him up close. And then he just stomped me out and fire breathed me down. But this really shows you the limitation that AMD has in some of these games against NVIDIA. Even a 2 generation old card can beat out a 1 generation old card. And yeah, that's the 3080 series. So I guess like the 7800 series are the cards that will actually compete with that type of card. So next is Cyberpunk, and first he did all high settings just to show you how good it does. I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and Cyberpunk really does show you how the RTX 7700 XT is a lower performing card. Like I said, the 3080 is a higher series of card, and the 7800 XT will be the card that will compete against the 3080, even though 3080 is 2 generations old. But yeah, it just outduels this card in every which way. Watch, we're gonna see the actual ray tracing and putting on some ray tracing, and we all know that NVIDIA is just a better card for ray tracing. AMD just isn't there, and this is complete proof, as even though both of them really couldn't handle Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk is a harder game to run, this one couldn't even get 20 frames and couldn't maintain over 10 frames at all. This is bad. It's stuttering. It's not playable. Everything's breaking apart. Yeah, it was bad on the eyes. I almost puked. I wouldn't do this again. No ray tracing on this type of game with the RX 7700 XT. And now lastly, he did some DLSS upscaling. So I just went with AMD's FSR upscaling and then add some ray tracing, medium ray tracing, just to see how it performed. And still it couldn't really maintain over 60 frames per second, even though it looked a lot better, played a lot smoother. It's just, yeah, AMD just isn't there yet. But as you can see, when we played all high settings, it was a great experience. And even at all high settings, you still get a great picture. So just because you can't ray trace in the game doesn't mean it's gonna be bad. But yeah, I feel like the RX 7700 XT did hold some ground, just in some of the harder games it just couldn't keep up. All right, y'all, so that does conclude the price to performance 1440p challenge. And yeah, just to show y'all, my time spy score was 14,687, with the PC costing $652.75. That is a cents per frame score of 4.44 cents. Yeah, that just shows you how legit this PC is. And we do know that the RX 7700 XT doesn't perform as well as the 3080, but it did keep up with it in quite a few titles. And yeah, it's only one generation off. So yeah, the PC also looks excellent. I love the all black. I'm usually doing RGB, but the last couple PCs I had added no RGB. But yeah, so if you were going to buy a PC like this, exact parts, I'm pretty sure it won't cost more than $800, and I'm going to show you how. So yeah, stick around. I'm going to show you how to get this PC at the price of $800. So first we're going to go to AliExpress and we're just going to type in B550 motherboard. We're going to be looking for a motherboard that we like, or that I like, and this is the one right here. I have tried this out. Now this is a used motherboard, but it actually comes in nice. You're going to see this in a future build that I'm going to be making, and we're going to add this to cart. Then what we're going to do is we're going to type in Ryzen 5600X. Once we go to here, we're actually going to choose this $81 one. Now I have tried from both of these companies. They're both legit, but we're going to go with this $81 one, and I'm going to tell you the reason why in a second. Now, the reason why is because it comes out to $161.24, and if you go back to AliExpress, they actually have a coupon for $20 off, 159 plus. And so that's going to bring that down to 141. After tax, we're just going to say 150. Next, we're going to go to Amazon and we're going to be looking for a CPU cooler. We're going to be looking for an all black CPU cooler, $15 right here, ID Cooling. Boom, put that in. I'm actually putting in my calculator and my phone real quick. Next, we're going to go to Newegg. We're actually already did this. So we're going to go to PC case right here. We're going to go and we're going to look for these two. We're just going to filter them out. And as you see, $49.99. I actually like this case, the Fantech XT. I haven't tried it yet, but it is made from Fantech. It's only $49.99. Now it doesn't come with fans. Well, we could add fans later on, or if you wanted fans, you just spend what, $10 more to get this Sama. Look at that. Oh, look at this Sama. I don't like that Sama one, but yeah, look at these, both of these ones right here. And they're both mid, so they can handle that case, but we're just gonna put that one in right there. Next on this one, we're actually gonna just look for the power supply. So we're just gonna go here, power supply. We're gonna filter out again, $50. Apply. Right here, Seco Tap, 49.98. That's what we're gonna go for. Next, we're actually going to be looking for an NVMe. Also here, we're also going to filter out easy 1 TB, $50. Apply. Here we go. The Oracle right here, 43.99. That's just what we're going to add. Boom, perfect. Everything's coming along. We're going to go back to Amazon. We're going to look for some cable extensions because I like cable extensions for PC. Oh, I typed that wrong. Whatever. And then we're just going to look for all black ones for under $20. Boom. We found them. This is the one we're going to pick. Look at that. $18. Perfect. Next on this one, we're actually going to look for our PC RAM right here. 16. We're going to go 16 gigabytes. 3600 hertz. Perfect. One that we're going to be looking for is this Kingpin 2250. Doesn't matter. I like Kingpin. And we're just picking this one because it got the 36. You could go with this one too if you want to add the extra money. But boom, we're going to add that. And yeah, we got the motherboard, the RAM, the PSU, the power supply, the case. We have everything but a power. We have everything but a GPU. So we're going to look for the 7700 XT. 7700 XT. Boom, we got it for $400. Or you can look for a better graphics card, the 6800. Now this one does do better and just restoration, right? And if you add that, let me make it a bigger. As you can see, it comes out to $758.98. You're going to add some extra tax to that, but it's still going to be under $800. Which card you want to get, or we can even try to make it cheaper and go to eBay, and we're going to type in 7700 XT. If we see one that we like, this one might end up at like $350. Oh shoot. So yeah, if we go to eBay, this one might end up at like $350. I'm not sure. But we're just going to see what we can get now if there's anything. And there's nothing on the 7700 XT. You can get it cheaper on Amazon, but we can look at the 6800 real quick. And just the RX. We're just going to look at the RX 68, the regular one. You're not going to go for that one. Look at this one right here, $37. So we are actually what, $387. So it makes it like $13 cheaper. This right here, open box. I'm not even sure if this one's legit or not. He has 100% review. Is that just a box? Oh, we got graphics card in there. Look at that. We can make it cheaper if you want to test that one out. But that's just to show y'all that you can actually make this for under $800, and it's just that simple. And if you want to do some deal hunting, you can get something cheaper like this 6800 with that for only $320. Boom, that's it. We're finished. So yeah, like I said, you can get this same PC for under $800. I just wanted to prove to y'all, if you do some deal hunting like what we saw on eBay, you can actually get it down even more. And yeah, my name is Chef Boy. You a dad, and until next time, peace.